Welcome back to an episode of Let's Build Twitter. We're in episode 111. And as you all know, if you do want access to the private repository, go ahead and go down below to the description where I have a step-by-step guide on how to do that. As well as if you want to see me tinker around and playing with the code on live stream, I also have my live stream schedule down there as well. Without further ado, let's hop into what we work on today. In this episode, we start working on allowing users to input images to attach to their posts. We create a new array to store the images in on our Redux slice, set up the input that allows users to attach the images to the post, and then display an image from the user on the screen. As always, I'm Ethan Encoder, and let's hop straight to development. Here on with our feed post creator, we're ready to start loading in images. Now, I just want you all to know that this is probably going to take quite a while. Probably at least 2 episodes, maybe 3, because I've been working on this for a few weeks on live stream. So if it takes me a few weeks of kind of figuring stuff out on live stream, it's probably going to take me a little bit of time to get all this working. So just know that this is going to be a couple episodes. I'm going to try to record for about 30 minutes here and figure out where we can go from there. So the first thing we need to go ahead and do is start storing the images that we grab inside of our post slice state. So let's go ahead and hop into our post slice state. Post slice is post slice. To start out, we're going to be just storing the URL to those uploaded images on the front end. So underneath our post, we're going to go ahead and say current post images. Current post images, and this will be a string array. And then from here, we also want to go ahead and make sure that our initial state is just an empty array. So current post images will be an empty array. And then we're also going to want a way to go ahead and update these. So inside of our reducers, we'll go ahead and go under the update current post. We'll say update current post images. And this will take in a state and an action. An action will be a payload action of type string array. Now again, we might to come back and refactor a few things, but the goal for this episode, hopefully, is just kind of get images displaying on the screen, then we can start playing with them a little bit more. So we'll just say state is equal to ... state, and we'll also say current post images will be action.payload, right? And then we can go ahead and just return the state. Return state. Then at the bottom, we'll go ahead and export this. So we'll go ahead and export, and we'll update current post images. So now we'll keep track of the images that we want to associate with our current post. So now we need to go back into our mess of a component inside of our feed post creator. This is just getting messier and messier. So we need a way to actually grab our images. And the thing about Twitter is you can apply 4 images and only 1 GIF. So if you have 1 GIF, you can't have any more images. And so on and so forth. So the first thing we need to do is go ahead and set up a state to make sure that we don't overload the images. So we're going to say const overloaded images. So const overloaded images and set overloaded images equal to use state. This will be a Boolean, and it'll start out as false because obviously we're not overloaded. And then we're going to go ahead and actually get our images. So we're going to make a function, and I'll just make it above the use effect. We're going to say const handle get images equal to, and we need the event. So e react maybe dot, and this will be a change event, and this will be on an HTML input element. Cool. And we'll finish up this function. So we're going to take in the images. So we're going to say const image URL list is equal to a string array, and it'll start out empty. So we're going to get the images from our input. Then we're going to make sure that we don't have too many and things like that. So we'll say if our image, well, I guess I also forgot an image selector ref here. Let's also make sure we set that up. I forgot to copy that in here. So let's come back to the top, set up a const image selector ref equal to use ref. And this one will be an HTML input element. And we'll start it out as null. We'll set this up in a second. So now back into our images. So we're going to check to see if our image selector ref .current and that we have e.target.files. So we want to make sure we have files, And what we're going to go and do is we are going to check to make sure we don't have too many files. So we're going to say if our e.target.value.files.length and e.target. We don't want value, we just want e.target.files.length is greater than 4. That means we have selected too many. So you can just like console.log selected too many files. And then what we want to go ahead and do is get rid of all those files. So that we can say image selector ref.current.value is equal to nothing. So we'll just set it, hey, there's nothing, and we'll go ahead and set overloaded images to true. So eventually we're going to have some sort of pop-up for overloaded images. Right now we don't. Then we'll return out of the function because we don't want to continue. Cool. And then we're going to also go ahead and set up our list of images basically. So say for let I equal to 0. I is less than e.target.files.length and I++. And what we're going to go ahead and do is going to say let file equal to e.target.files and then .item. And we're going to say I. So we're going to get the file. And then we're going to say if our file dot question mark, because there might not be a file there, type equal to image/gif. And this is 100% a TypeScript thing. If this was regular JavaScript, we wouldn't need that. But, and, so if we have a GIF and our e.target.files.length is greater than 1, so if we have more than one file, then we want to console.log, and we'll say only one GIF, only one GIF and no other images. If I could type allowed, so then we'll just have a console log. We'll have our image selector ref equal to, current value. Then we'll reset our images again. So we'll just have nothing there. We'll also set overloaded images to true. But if that's not an issue, we'll go ahead and say const local image URL is equal to window.url.create object URL. We're going to pass in e.target.files I, and this is going to create our basically the URL for us. We're going to say image URL list.push. We're going to go ahead and push that local image URL to that list. Then after we're done, we'll go ahead and we'll dispatch. And we're going to dispatch and update current post images. We're going to pass in that image URL list. So then we'll go ahead and update that. So there is that. And I'm not sure why I copied the use effect. We don't need the use effect. But now we need to make an actual input to go ahead and allow us to actually put this in here. So we're going to scroll down until we find the post media icon BG. So let's see here. So our post media icon BG. So we're going to have to go ahead and modify this a little bit. We're going to put an input in here. So we're going to say inputs and class name equal to feed-post-creator -file-update on change will equal to handle get images. Type will equal to file. We're going to have ID equal to images. We'll have our accept equal to image/star. We might want to kind of change that. We'll see. Multi for multiple is equal to true because we want to allow multiple images. And then we want our ref equal, and our ref will equal to image selector ref. And then finally, hidden will be true. Basically, we don't want to see it. Then we're going to go ahead and wrap our actual media SVG label. I don't know why I have a class on that now that I think about it, but HTML4 equal to images. Class name will now equal, And now we're going to grab the feed-post-creator-icon-bg, and we change this to icon-bg-media, and that's going to be something that we change. So it's going to be scuffed for a little bit. That's fine. We're going to copy our media bg here. And assuming that I didn't scuff this too much, which I probably did, we should be able to save, and let's go ahead and go into the front end. So right now it's somehow still working, which is a miracle. But if we click this, fingers crossed, it should pop up a thing to view images. As you can see here, I'm going to go ahead and grab some images. I'm going to pull it to the side though, just so you guys don't see any personal images. Can't really see anything happening, but I'm not sure what's going on here. But if we try to grab too many, let's see if I can get to freak out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see selected too many files. And then if I select a GIF and a not GIF, again, you guys can't see anything. That's fine. I just kind of want you to see the message. And this one broke completely. I wonder why. Only one GIF or no other images allowed. Did I forget to return? Let's see. So this should return out of here like so. That way we don't break anything. Let's try this again. So I'll refresh and then we'll go ahead and grab some images. So these two, there we go. Only one allowed. So again, you can't really see anything at this moment. That's completely fine, but we are getting the images on there, and it is good. And if I wanted to, I could come back in here and I could go ahead and say console.log what our thing looks like. So it's console.log and we'll say image URL list, and we can actually take a look at our image URL list real quick. We'll grab this and let's go ahead. Well, I guess I can't, but if I just grab one GIF, it doesn't break. If we go ahead and inspect console, we have an array and the information's in there. So it's working. I'm going to go ahead and refresh that. That's good to go. So now we need to actually set up the part that you can see the people. So the first thing that we're going to need is, unfortunately, we're going to need some SVGs again. So let's go ahead and first I'm going to open up Twitter really quick and I'll show you the SVG that we need. So we need the SVG from the tag people. So we go ahead and inspect. We go ahead and select this guy and grab the actual SVG. So SVG and copy the element. So copy element. And I believe we're good to go on that. Now I'm going to get rid of it. Let's go back into our code. Now let's go ahead and go into here. We'll go into our SVGs and our components, SVGs. We're going to make a new file, and this is going to be called tag people SVG. And then we'll go ahead and import our SVG props. So SVG props from our global interfaces, export default function, maybe. And this will be tag people SVG. This will take in props of type SVG props. And then we're going to go ahead and return and paste in our SVG. We'll get rid of our class as always, and we'll clean this up a little bit. And almost done. This is the only SVG that we need to create because we already have the other SVG. So that's good news. All right, so now our height will equal to props.height. Our width will equal to props.width, and then our color and our path, so we'll say fill equal to props.color question mark, and then we'll say props.color. Otherwise we'll just say black, so we'll say FFF. So it should be 000, my bad. Save that. We do need to go ahead and go into our list SVG, so wherever that is. We also need to go ahead and add our color here. So let's go ahead and say fill equal to props.color question mark. This will be props.color. Otherwise, it'll be black. So 000. Now that's good. We can close out of these. But now we need to actually create the component to hold all of the images that you see whenever you create a post. And that's going to go kind of in this area here. So let's go ahead and come in here. And I'm just going to go ahead inside of our feed, make a new folder. And this folder will be called feed post creator images, feed post creator images, and make a new file and call this feed post creator images.tsx, and another new file feed post creator images.css. All right, let's come in here. Let's go ahead and we will go import React from React. We also need use effect and use state from React. It'd help if I could type. Then we'll just go ahead and export const feed post creator. Images is a react.fc. I don't think this one takes in any props or anything. So now we're just going to set up this. So we'll return, and we'll just return a div with the class name equal to, and we'll just call this feed post creator baby dash images. So let's go ahead and set up our state and whatnot that we need. So we'll go ahead and say const baby const post state is equal to use selector, and then we'll take in our state, which is root state, and return state.post. Now, of course, we need to import this stuff, so go ahead and import that from React Redux and import this from our Redux store. Now we'll go ahead and just set this up. So we're going to have to generate, and I'm going to just do this, and this is a comment. So generate the image container. Here, that's going to take a little bit of work. Might be next episode. I'll have a div class name equal to feed dash post dash creator dash images dash options, and this is going to have a p class name equal to feed dash post dash creator. If I could type, that'd be cool. I still can't type, I'm sorry. And this is going to be images dash option. So this is the individual option. We're going to have a tag people svg, import that, a width equal to 16, a height equal to 16, and a color equal to hashtag 5364 and 71. Should be like a gray color, and then underneath that we'll have tag people. Then we're gonna need another images or another options to grab. Oh, we actually just need an option. Grab that, and then this will be, instead of tag people svg, this is going to be list svg. Instead of tag people, this is going to say add description. So now we have this kind of set up. Let's go ahead and just set up some very basic container stuff. So we're going to go into our CSS, and I'm sorry, I should get rid of that. .feed dash post dash creator dash images. So width will be 100%, and Twitter only allows it to be 345. So height is 345 px. Our .feed dash post dash creator dash images dash container, which we'll set up probably in the next episode. Height 100%. Width is 98%. Oops, 98%. Our display will be flex. Our row gap will be 12 px, and our column gap will be 12 px. We're gonna have .container dash even. Again, this is gonna be something we set up later. We'll have a flex dash wrap, and this will be wrap, and we will have a flex dash direction maybe of row. We'll have .container dash odd, and this will be flex dash wrap colon wrap reverse. This is going to be flex dash direction column reverse. Again, it's because Twitter does some weird stuff, so we kind of had to just do what we have to. So now what we're going to go ahead and do is we will just go ahead and create our actual image holder for now. So we're going to go into here, and we're going to make a new folder, and I'm going to say feed post creator image, make a new file, feed post creator image.tsx and feed post creator image.css. This is going to set up the very basic image here, and then we'll kind of deal with the rest later. So we're going to go ahead and, well, firstly, I'm going to make sure we import our CSS here. So / feed post creator images.css. Otherwise, nothing's going to work. And here we'll go ahead and import React from React. And we'll import our CSS. So import / feed post creator image CSS. And we will go ahead and say interface. We need some props. So we'll say feed post creator image props. This is going to say image string, not string literal, just string. Maybe. There we go. Still can't type. And export const feed post creator image react.function component. This will take in our feed post creator image props equal to, and we'll break it apart. We'll say image, and then we're going to do one of these and do that. So now we need to return, and this is going to be dead simple. We'll come back and do a little bit more on this in another episode, but the class name of feed post creator image. It is going to have a direct style just to make it a little bit easier on us. Background. Let's make sure we do this right. Equal to background image. So background image is going to be URL $. Then we're going to have image. And that's basically all we're going to have. We are going to have a little bit more a little bit later on. But again, I'm trying to keep this within like 30 minutes. So I just kind of want to get images up on the screen. So now finally, instead of our feed creator images, we can go ahead and say dot feed post creator image. And inside, we're going to have a background color of black. So, I don't know why it's set up like this. I got this code from the internet. So 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. And then we're going to have a border radius of 16px. Maybe 16px. We're going to have a flex of 1, 0, and 48%. I don't remember exactly what this does, but this is going to lay some stuff out for us. We're going to have background size, which would be cover. We're going to have background repeat, which would be no repeat. We're going to have our background position, which is going to be center and center. Finally, we'll have a cursor, a pointer. So this is just to set up our background basically. So let's go ahead and just import this. So reply restriction, this is going to be, and I forget, let's take a look at Twitter real quick. The images go above the reply restriction. So if we come back into our code, our reply restriction is right here. So what we'll go ahead and do, and this is going to break everything, I'm aware. Also, we need to do one other thing before this actually works. We're going to say feed post creator images, and this one shouldn't take any props. Save that. Now again, we're not going to see much here. It's just going to take up extra space and act a little bit strange. But now instead of feed post creator images, what we can at least do, if I can go to it, we can at least map through the post state images and just kind of throw some images on here, and then we'll go from there. So say post state dot current post images dot map. We're going to map the image, and we're going to return a feed post creator image. It's going to say image equal to image. and make sure that this is all correct. Let's go ahead and import this. Now keep in mind that this is not going to be our final goal. We still need to set up a couple other things. I'm just hoping to get some images on the screen. Right now we don't have any images, so let's go ahead and grab one. And that's great. So why are we not showing? Let's take a look at Redux. So do we have an image? We do in fact have an image. Okay. So why are we not displaying the images? The style is not working. So let's take a look at what's going on with the style. Well, right now I don't think there's anything in it. So let's go ahead and do this. Grab this. Console. I don't think it console.logged. Let's try again. No, it's definitely got images in it. Okay. Let's check this again. Image. Okay, let's double check what's going on with this. For some reason, our style is not working, I don't believe. So here, our background image does not seem to be working. It's because this needs to be wrapped inside of parentheses. Like so. It's including the quote instead of doing it the way that we want it to. The background image is there. So maybe this is an issue farther up the poll. So it looks like it's getting quotation marks from somewhere. So that's correct. That's the feed post creator. So I'm going to double check a couple things. Right now we do have our div in place. And we also have the image that has the background, but it's not displaying. It has a height of 0 pixels. And even whenever I force it to have more than 0 pixels, it still doesn't work. Although now I guess it is wanting to work whenever I do give it a height of 100 px. Interesting. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and for the time being, we're going to go ahead and put height 100% inside of our CSS. So here our height will be 100%. For some reason, our flex is not working the way it should, but again, it's not fully set up yet. I just want to get images on the page. So now if we come back into our footer, let's go ahead and close out this and refresh. Keep in mind, things are going to be absolutely broken right now because of the way things are set up, but that's fine. We go ahead and grab a couple images. And you can't see the other ones because the overflow is off, but they're there. We can go ahead and grab a different image. For example, this GIF. And there we go. So now what we need to do is we need to make it so we can actually view all of the images. Obviously, we don't just want it smushed into this. So we'll fix that up. Don't worry about that. And that's what we'll work on in the next episode is getting all of our images in here and then possibly even start getting to the point where we can get rid of them, add them, and do all of that stuff. Unfortunately, that's going to be it for today. If you guys enjoyed, please stick around for the next episode by hitting that subscribe button. You'll know exactly when it comes out, especially with that bell icon. If you did enjoy the content today, please sure to leave a thumbs up. If you did enjoy it, leave a thumbs down. Either way, it helps out with the algorithm all the same. And finally, if you have any suggestions or feedback for me, make sure you leave a comment down below. With that being said, I appreciate you all for watching. Stay tuned for the next episode. Peace out, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.